Have I ever said how much I hate this? Well, I do. We are off to my surgery appointment, my post-op checkup. We have a couple things to talk to him about. I wouldn't be surprised if he ordered some scans or some type of test. And honestly, I'm hoping he will because of the progression and the continuation of my symptoms. But we'll just have to see what he says. There's also a chance he'll say it's totally normal, and then we might be a little frustrated or back at square one, but I don't think he'll do that because he's aware of like the EDS complications, I guess. So we'll see. It's 2 o'clock and I woke up at 1, so I got ready pretty quickly. Had another hard night, and Dad's giving me a thumbs up because he's proud of me that I got ready so quickly, right?
Yes.
Hi guys, so we just got out of the appointment. Hickman looks great. We can cut out the sutures for the Hickman when I want to. J-tube looks pretty good. Incision looks okay. It's taking a lot longer for these stitches to dissolve than he thought, so he said start scrubbing them when I'm taking baths to help them dissolve. They should have dissolved by now. That's just my EDS, my funky EDS skin. I'm taking its sweet old time to get rid of those stitches. In terms of the biopsy, I mean, not great results. We basically already knew this, but I mean, it got confirmed via biopsy, which is it's myopathy, it's not neuropathy. So myopathy is a lot harder to treat because it has to do with the makeup of the intestines, not just the signals to the intestines. So the smooth muscle in my small intestine is very thinned out, and there's no peristalsis there, which we already knew, but I wasn't even expecting the biopsies to show anything, and they did. So I mean, I'm glad we did them. It was not just like a punch biopsy, it was a full thickness biopsy, so he took about this much. It's technically considered a resection. He took this much out of my small intestine to test a couple different places, I think. I don't have Hirschsprungs, which is nice to know, but I mean, we already knew that. They would have picked that up on the first scope I ever did. He didn't do a full thickness of my colon, I think. That's strange, but we already know my colon is dead, so there's no, I mean, I guess there's no point anyways. So next steps are trying the Peristeen pump, and after that, the ileostomy. He mentioned small bowel transplant, and I was like, no way. Mortality rate is high long-term for small bowel transplants, and my colon doesn't work, and neither does my stomach, so what's the point of getting rid of changing the small bowel when the other two parts don't work, you know? What do you think about that?
Well, if you could get the colon to work, if you could then get a new small intestine, it's worth thinking about. I understand the risks could be high, and it could be very bad in terms of the drugs, but I don't think it's a crazy idea. On the other hand, as my brother once said, if we had some peanut butter, we could have peanut butter and jelly. If we had some jelly.
That's funny. Okay.
Yeah, pretty appropriate.
So I guess the whole thing is because it's myopathy, we can't get the colon to work. So I mean, I guess if we took, like, hypothetically, if we took out the colon and then we did a small bowel transplant, I'd end up with an ileostomy and a new small bowel, but I still wouldn't have a colon, so I'd have an ileostomy long term, and then I'd be on immunosuppressants long term because you can't have rejection with a small bowel, or else, I mean, you're toast. Have I ever said how much I hate this? Well, I do. And this is just, you know, when you have these appointments and you realize the condition you're in, it's just like a big slap in the face. Like, just makes me want to cry. And it's okay to cry, but then you have to get over it and you have to keep moving. So I'm screwed, but make the most out of what I can do. Gonna try going up on my rate, running my rate at 0.8 mLs an hour through my J-tube constantly. Obviously that sounds like nothing, but when you have no motility, nothing moves, and that will build up, so we'll see how long that can last. Bright side is I got this cute new backpack. It is not a hydration pack like my Vibrations, but it holds my saline perfectly, and it's small, so it has a front pocket and a back pocket, and I love it. It's the, I don't know how to pronounce the name of this brand, but it's the Dakine or Dakine Cosmo, I believe, and a friend recommended it to me, and I am loving it. We're home. My bolus is done. I'm gonna take a bath. I got to FaceTime my friend, which I'm really happy about. We talked about how we really want to hang out soon, and she could potentially travel to where I live in California to visit me, so that's very exciting. I'm gonna make positives. Whether or not I'm feeling positive, I'm gonna make positives happen. That's all you can do. Well, today was a tough day, but tomorrow will be a better day. I'm running my TPN and my fluids overnight. I just took meds. I'm feeling somewhat okay. Not great, but somewhat okay. And I think tomorrow I'm just gonna do something to cheer me up. Maybe we'll go shopping, or maybe we'll go to the animal shelter and look at puppies that we might foster. Who knows? Just something to cheer me up. Or maybe I'll see a friend or a movie. There are just so many things that I should think about rather than the bad things. So that's what I'm gonna do. Good night, guys. Okay, well, I've just been puking non-stop. Trusty vomit bag here. And all I can do is sit up and rock back and forth, hoping that this will help. And breathe. Just breathe, one breath at a time. Oh goodness. This is not good. I don't know if my infection is getting worse. I have a headache, so I could be getting a migraine. Really frustrated. occasionally an ice pack in the back of the neck can lessen the severity and sometimes even abort puking long enough to get to a bathroom or something. So I've got my ice pack and another ice pack just in case. Not feeling good at all. I really hate to be a Debbie Downer. All my vlogs are just me complaining. But for me, this is what life is like. My IV Zofran isn't really working. So I'm gonna do my Ativan, try to abort this. The answer is yes, I woke up to the puking. It wakes me up. The pain wakes me up and the puking does. And I keep mouthwash by my bed because nobody wants to go to sleep with puke in their mouth.